Alright, so the shop is a bit of a mess. Starting to straighten things up and get things ironed out. Today we are going to touch base on different tools, different aspects of the rotary power gouge tools. I have the video on this one, but this is the actual Makita. I pressed the springs out and got it to fit and work with the hub that comes with the kit with a little bit of tooling and finagling, and it works good. It works really well. Okay, so there's that. There's our big gouge, right? We have plenty of saws. It's not about, for me, it's not about trying to find major alternatives as a better way. I just want to try out some different techniques. You can see this guy here. It makes some pretty cool looking fur detail, and we can compare one to the other, right? This is all saw. That's your saw detail, and this is your little power gouge detail. And I like both looks, and I'm not more partial to one than the other. The variety that these offer. I've got the little sitting bear done with all saw. Now we're getting into having a smaller diameter power gouge steel. This is your arbortec, right? And I just ordered my little arbortec mini carver disc. So when you open the box, you want a table. You want to be kind of careful, because the first time I opened this, everything exploded. This comes with a little manual thing. Shows you different whatevers. Immediately when I open the box and I put my hands on this, this is really high quality, and I'm pretty impressed with it. Now, the only thing about the arbortecs is you're going to find here, you see, this is a little tiny. This is a little tiny bolt, and I'm not really sure what this bigger one is, and I'm hoping that I don't need a special arbortec head for the bigger bolt. I'm not really sure on that, but we're gonna just bolt this in and try this out as is. Hopefully it'll all fit together. And that's the weird thing about arbortec, is there's so many odd crossovers with them and different configurations. They don't really have one set rhyme or reason to any of their setups, or you know, their availability on their kits, their availability of the fact that this bolt is a different size than the one that is on my cutter head. It's a little concerning, but we're just going to take it slow. We're going to try to get that guy on there as best that we can. And see, the lockdown button on this one has been lost. So there it is, all set up. and it looks like it's ready to rock and roll, and I'm kind of skeptical about this because it's the smaller bolt. I really don't like that idea that they would have so many different size bolts for one thing. I mean, why not just have the same size bolt? Calling around, because you can't even call the company really and get a good take on exactly why all that's so different. So I don't have the safety handle for this. I don't really think I'll need it for this, but it looks to all be very high quality and very nice. So So immediately, I'm very impressed with it. If you can afford this kind of thing, I would say it's definitely worth the money. It's very smooth. And you see, cutting cross grain, it's going to leave a little bit of a mess, so you want to try to figure out that leaves a really nice, I really like the patterning in that. And this coupled with the bigger gouge patterning, you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Now the trick is to try to match these bigger gouge patterns. I mean, you can do it. You can match it. Just by holding the tool diagonally into that gouge, you see that I can match pretty closely the bigger gouge. So if I'm blending, that's a good thing. If I'm getting into tighter spots with this and using this, the two are going to blend in kind of nicely. And also, you still have, as an option, you still have your smaller dime tip saws that you can use, you know, when you get in, say you get in these little areas like this. That's, you know, with the saw, you may want to use a saw to get in there, or you could use this thing. The really cool thing about these is their ability to channel. Now, if you channel this way, That's one look, and you can make it smoother and nicer if you take your time. Now, if you channel this way, so see it leaves, I'm looking at my tikis, I'm looking at my bears, I'm looking at bird feathers, I'm looking at all different options, different kind of things that you can use this for. So that's another addition to the family, and as I go through and throughout my videos. Now I do have on order one of the thinner, it's called the industrial disc. It's just a thin piece of metal, and it has instead of replaceable carbide lugs, it has non-replaceable carbide teeth. You can still sharpen them, and there's 2 teeth on that, and I have used that before. I did have one of those a little while ago, and the thinner disc, the reason I bought it is because you can see right here, it does some pretty cool, you know, you can get into like scalloping detail with it, stacked, you know, like feathers and stuff like that. And they're relatively cheap. The industrial cutters are relatively cheap. But I'm seeing throughout all of my carvings, I'm seeing this thing as kind of a game changer, and as far as more quickly getting patterns like fur patterns done, you know, and it's going to be a little bit easier to control than the bigger gouge. So, and we could even take this as an example. You know, and that actually gets in this crevice without any real hassle. You see how much wider that big gouge is. So it's not the end all of, you know, it's not everything, but it is another tool. What's cool here, I can get in and kind of really shake the face out. I like the versatility of this thing. Now, and this is just me showing you guys quick stuff. I still have a certain look to my carvings that I want to achieve, so this is just one more tool right now. I'm showing you the, you know, if I only use this tool, what it's going to look like. Very smooth. I like the speed. It's mostly the speed that I like. You can cut kind of against the grain. It doesn't leave it real ugly looking. You can kind of manipulate the tool to get smoother, cleaner look. The only thing I will say is if you choose to not use these with the safety handle, you really have to be careful. It will jump if you catch off of this front part, which is kind of the way that the guard on it is shaped, is actually meant to have that safety handle all the time on there. But I bought this used, and I had another one that years ago, and I got rid of it. Because at the time I wasn't using it a whole lot, which was kind of a mistake. I should have held on to it and just bought one of these wheels. These wheels, these little carbide wheels, they're about $100. I found the best deal for them on Amazon. They're kind of they're kind of really priced out on eBay. They're only available from Canada or overseas, and the shipping on them is going to be as much as the blade, which I think is ridiculous for a little tiny package anyway. It shouldn't be that much, but those sellers seem to think that that's the way to sell a piece of tool. You know, nothing against that. If you can get that money for them, go for it. But as carvers, we're always looking for more and more and more. So we're actually looking to spend as little as possible, you know, or save money. I'll still primarily use this guy. The only advancement I've done with the saws is I've gotten into this is a 43 thousandths. That's a 43,000 Canon bar and chain, steel chain. The real thin stuff they make for the battery saws. I do like that a little bit better on the small bar. I have a bigger, the 50 gauge bar and chain. Same size, same bar, just a little bit thicker and heavier. Still like that too. It's a matter of detail. Like with that little tiny chain, I can get in here real easy, and it does leave a cleaner cut. For me anyway, my preference is it leaves a cleaner cut. Leaves a cleaner cut than the bigger chain. It just leaves me more options for looks. I can, you know, as far as straightening the mouth out and nose and you know, it gives me more options personally on things that I want to see or achieve or do. Yeah, so, you know, have fun with what you're doing. And I'm kind of getting the gorilla face on that one, but he's cool. It's a little monkey face. Alright, well, that's it for that. We'll be back with more. I will pay for good stuff. Which is what I always say, I will pay for good stuff. I like the fact that if you handle this lightly, it really rounds things off smooth, really quick. And it still gives that chiseled appearance. You know, there's no reason you can't use this to completely finish a piece. And it still gives it an appearance as though it's been carved or chiseled. It's not cheating, to me anyway. It's not making it not chainsaw. It's just another tool in the toolbox. So that's just you know, there's your arbortec first hand. With the mini gouge. Very happy with it so far. And you know, if we take this guy and do some gouging, this guy definitely takes a lot more wood. You know, but you can get pretty light with this too. You know, it's just another tool, guys. I just want to show you guys. For me, it's about just having another tool. Keep this thing interesting that I'm doing here. You know, and just kind of playing with it and trying different things. I mean, this isn't actually a roughed out piece even. It's not even finished being roughed out. So I just wanted to show some of the patterns and shapes that it will make or do. What I do like about this is I could easily go in and make a face and something. I mean, it will make a face. It will easily carve a face out for you. So there's that. I mean, this is real quick, but you can see how fast it cuts, and the lines. I mean, that's kind of part of the carving, the look. You know, if I had that for the finish for the face, it's done. That's a quick, easy method. With the saw, yes, you can do a lot with the saw that you can't do with these gouges, but you know, it's just another tool for me. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. We're gonna get into some more of this stuff. Just like with bowl shapes, with that you can get the little sanding discs for those, the carbide. It's a carbide like Kutzall or saber disc that fits that same arbor, same size disc, for doing bowls. You know, normally my sanding for my bowls is just a drum, just a typical carbide drum disc that I run on an angle grinder. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.